Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Who is the soul that is struggling in this life? Is the soul one per body, or there is but one absolute conscious existence expressing through all the bodies? Is there a separate electricity behind every bulb, or there is one electricity expressing through all the bulbs? The power of the bulb decides and determines the light that is coming out. Electrical energy current is the same. One bulb is 0 power, minimum light. Second is 40 power, little more light. Third is 100 power, still more light. In the same manner, there is but one conscious existence, and the bulb attached is a man, so all the masculine qualities. The other bulb attached is a woman body, so all the feminine qualities. The third bulb attached is a cow, so milk is produced. The fourth bulb attached is a cobra, then the poison is produced. See? Therefore, here the teacher says, life is not an individuality. Life is just a phenomena. Like the light is a phenomena. In the light there is no individuality. And when there is no individuality, there is no sin, there is no merit. There is no last life, there is no this life, there is no next life. Life is a continuous expression and it can never be stopped. Therefore, the first step the teacher tells, we have to come to conclude and accept that the life is not lived by the body, but the life is lived through the body. Therefore, the embodied who is going through the good and bad experiences is someone other than the body. And once this is accepted, someone other than the body, then what is the meaning of that? This embodied is not influenced by anything that is happening to the body. See? So if the body is fat, embodied is not fat. If the body is healthy, embodied is not healthy. If the body is unhealthy, the embodied is not healthy. If the body is man, the embodied is not man. See, friends. Therefore, having accepted that embodied is someone other than the body, then the next question comes is utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshusha. So this embodied one, when he is functioning from this body or that body, or he is living and enjoying or suffering in this body, under all conditions, this principle must be fully established in our understanding, that the embodied is someone different than the body. See, friends, after this is accepted, then the next question can kindle in our mind as to who we are. You know, one day in one university, I was giving talks in India, and there one student asked me this question. Swamiji, yes sir, who am I? So I didn't say anything. He said, no, I want you to reply my question, who am I? Then I asked him, shall I tell you the truth or should I bluff? I can do both the things effectively. He said, for a change, tell the truth. I said, okay, listen. Are you ready to listen? Yes. I said, you are a fool of the highest order. So when I said like this thing, he said, the same question was raised by Bhagwan Raman Maharshi. Do you mean Raman Maharshi is a fool? I said, no. Because he did not ask me this question. You have asked me this question. I am replying to you. Then his question was, then why this question is taken for inquiry? Who am I? I said, look here, my dear friend, who am I? This question becomes valid for inquiry only when we have accepted ourselves to be someone other than the body. When I take myself to be body, this question is not valid. So I am a man, I am woman, I am young, I am old, I am beautiful, I am awful. Where is the problem? See? The real question can become intense inquiry only when we have accepted ourselves to be someone other than the body. See, friends, then the identity crisis will catch us. I'll give an example about this. This happened in USA. I was staying for the first time. I went there in 80s, and there was a neighbor, old couple. And he was a cook in a bakery in his whole life. And he had a wife, both of them very old. And they had a son. So I just, as a courtesy, went and paid a visit. I said, Amma, how are you? So the moment I said, Amma, man, I am not your mother. Please don't call me Amma. I said, I'm sorry. Call me Maggie. So in India, Maggie are the noodles which are used for eating by the children. 2 minutes Maggie and put in the hot water and you can eat them. So I said to myself, should I start eating you, Maggie? And then we became friends. Then she was telling about her son. She said, he is our adopted son. We don't have children. We adopted him. What is he doing? He is now 35, and all these years, when he was hardly maybe 6 months or 1 year, since then I am looking after him. Since then, he is doing only one thing. Who are his real parents? Nothing else. So he has been tracing all the records, going here and there, and finally he could pinpoint his mother is in Calgary in Canada. So he flew all the way from Chicago, and after having gone, met that old lady. That old lady was almost 78 or 80. And she was, one of her leg was amputated because of the gangrene. And she was a prostitute. And she said, with these records, it is true that you are my son. However, go back, wherever you have come from. So he came back. See, when our identity is doubtful, then only the inquiry becomes intense. In the same manner, if I am not the body, then who am I? And what is the load of this statement? I am not the body. It means all the attributes of the body, they do not belong to me. So the body is masculine, I am not a man. The body is feminine, I am not a woman. The body is old, I am not old. The body is white, I am not white. The body is healthy, I am not healthy. The body is with diseases, I am not having diseases. See? The body is born, I am not born. The body is growing, I don't grow. Now evaluate these statements in your own experiences. Do we have the experience of birth and growth? No. The body dies, we don't experience our death. Then the question comes, who is this embodied who is other than the body? See? Pot space is other than the pot. All the contents of the pot, they are living, existing in the pot space. But the pot space is other than the pot, is it not? Therefore, what is the pot space? Pot has got a shape. Pot space doesn't have any shape. Pot can be broken. Pot space is never broken. Pot can become unclean, dirty. Pot space never becomes dirty. And when the pot breaks, the pot space doesn't break. In the same manner, this embodied is uninfluenced by anything that is relating to the body. See, friends, when this body identification, the wrong notion that we are the body, this is discarded, then you will come to know that the whole waking world is existing only in this delusion that I am this body. With the body identification alone, we have nationality, we have religion, we have gender, we have friends, we have enemies, we have parents, we have relations, only after the body identification. See, friends. Therefore, here the teacher says, Vimudha nanu pashanti. But those who are Vimudha means what? Vimudha means fools. Vimudha means those who have acquired doctorate in foolishness. What is the height of foolishness? The height of foolishness is, I don't know, here in this country, when the cigarettes are sold, is it written on the cigarette packets? In India, it is mandatory. Every cigarette packet must carry a message. That is a statutory warning. Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Is it written here also? Okay. So we go to the shop and come on, give me one 555. So it gives me one packet. And to see whether it is sealed perfect or not, what we do, we see and it is written there. Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. This is okay. And we start smoking. Means what? That cigarette smoking is injurious to health has no impact on our mind. See, friends. So we are only reading it. Like we stand before the mirror doesn't register anybody. In the same manner, our mind does not register the knowledge that cigarette smoking is injurious to health. In the same manner, we come to satsang and we listen, hear 100 times. What we hear, the body is not created by us. Our body is not created by us. Therefore, on our body, we have zero right. Then who has the right on our body? Our parents have the right on our body. Therefore, the body should be employed in serving the parents and not leading a selfish life. See, friends. Second thing, the body never listens to us. So that it is neither created by us nor it is obedient to us. That body I am. On what ground we are talking this? See, therefore, vimudha nanupashyanti. No, technically what you tell is true, but practically, gone. See, vimudha nanupashyanti. And pashyanti is jnana chakshusha. But those who have the eye of wisdom, they are able to appreciate this. See? And when we appreciate this, that the body is meant just like a house. In the same manner, we are housed in this particular body. Vimudha nanupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshusha. And once this is recognized, then see what is the impact of this knowledge. Impact of this knowledge is, first of all, the fear of death will disappear. Nobody suffers because of death. We suffer really because of the fear of death. Death is the only action that we do and others suffer. Suppose I die here right away. You all will have problem. Now, should we call police? Should we throw him in the floods and don't claim what to do with? And I'll be lying, relax. Okay, you do it. See, friends, the real misery is because of the fear of death. So, vimudha nanupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshusha. Now, the next step. If the same electrical energy is expressing through all the bulbs, it is a manifestation. It is an expression of electricity as light. It is not electricity. See, take a subjective experience. Mind expressing through the eyes is called as vision. When the eyes become blind, vision disappears. Anything happens to the mind? Mind is the same. Mind doesn't become blind because the mind was seeing both the vision as well as the blindness of the eye. See, friends, therefore when we come to discover this, that all the objects of the world are dependent on the senses. When the objects are removed, nothing happens to the senses. All the senses are the expression of the mind. When the senses break, nothing happens to the mind. Mind is an expression of consciousness through the body. Therefore, when the mind is destroyed, mind is misery, mind is happy, nothing happens to the consciousness. This conscious existence is our essential nature. Vimudhananu pashyanti, pashyanti jnana chakshusha. If this knowledge is practice, then what will be the practice? Instead of wasting time in the external objects, see how much time under the disguise of spirituality we spend in only getting a particular type of mattress, a particular type of mala, a particular type of stool for sitting, that is becoming so much that the truth is forgotten. See, so we withdraw from the objective world, come to the senses. We withdraw from the senses, come to the mind. Withdraw from the mind means dissolve the mind in the consciousness. See, friends, now one step further. Every time we switch on and switch off the car, the horsepower is created. There is no horsepower in the petrol. There is no horsepower in the engine. See, the petrol when goes through the engine under a set of conditions, then only the horsepower is manifested. See, and neither the engine has to reach anywhere, nor the petrol has to reach anywhere. It is the horsepower which is running. See, neither the consciousness has to go anywhere, nor the body has to go anywhere. It is the donkey power called as the mind that is unnecessarily running here and there. Come to discover this. And like every time we switch on the engine, horsepower is created. We switch off where the horse has gone with his power. See, in the same manner, every time there is expression of mind through the body, this world is created. When there is no possibility of expression of mind through the body, then the world and everything disappears. See, friends, therefore vimudhananu pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Now one step further the teacher takes us. Yatanto yoginashainam pasyantyatmanyavasthitam yatantopyakrutatmano nainam pashyantya chetasaha. Yatantaha yoginaha enam Atmani avasthitam pashyanti. Yatantaha yoginaha. Those who are self-disciplined and are self-oriented. Two things. Self-disciplined means now the mind is no more a problem. Just imagine a car. When you start the car and press the accelerator, it runs tremendous speed. And when you apply the brake, what is expected? The moment we apply the brake, the car should stop, is it not? But my car is unique. When I apply the brake, it stops after half an hour. What will be the condition? That is the condition of our mind. It gets involved. And when we have to say stop, okay, I'll stop. And again, continue through. See, next time you sit for meditation, observe. This will be happening. We sit for meditation. And like a truck on the upward hill, and then there is a red light, so the truck has to stop. But he will never switch off the engine, lest it may not start some problem. So what he does, only the engine is running. And all the emissions and more pollution comes out, but the vehicle is not moving. In the same manner, our meditation is, we are sitting in one place and inside the mind is watch this. See? Therefore, yatantaha yoginaha. We may put forward efforts, but are we qualified? Is our mind under our control? See, friends, it is so necessary that we have to put forward sincere effort to see that the mind behaves the way we want. We are the master of the mind, not the other way around. See? You must have experienced it during your childhood, when for the first time we learn riding a bicycle. Our friend is holding from behind and we are going slowly, and we have got only one problem. What is the problem? Why the bicycle is pulling me on the left side, left side, left side? It pulls. That time the bicycle is riding on us. Therefore we cannot take the bicycle where we want to go. That pulls us. Exactly the same way our mind pulls us. Wherever the mind wants, it doesn't go wherever we want to go. See? Yatantaha yoginaha jainam pashyanti atmani eva avasthitam. So those whose mind is now fully withdrawn from the world, and two conditions. Withdrawal of the mind from the body happens under three conditions. Two conditions are, one is compulsion. What is the compulsion? Compulsion is death. When the mind is withdrawn from the body once for all, death is the result. Second is, the mind is withdrawn from the body under ignorance in deep sleep. There are many people, many students, when they come for satsanga, they sit in no time, they enter the deep sleep. Krrr, krrr. They are not at fault. See? So either the mind withdraws from the body under death, compulsion, or ignorance, sleep, and the third option is through freedom. See? We have a freedom to apply the mind, we have a freedom to withdraw the mind. What a joy it will be! The joy will be like a car which can go with a tremendous speed in a fraction of a second, and it can stop in a fraction of a second. That freedom. See? With such a mind, yoginaha, the sincere seeker of truth, when they are in the world, they are fully involved. And when it is required, they can withdraw in a fraction of moment. See, such yogis, such students, they are self-oriented because they are self-disciplined. See, friends, and like health, we have to keep by taking lots of efforts. Diseases come without efforts. We don't have to do anything for getting a disease. Like I am having a pain over here. I have done nothing. It has just come freely. In the same manner, disturbances in the mind are coming freely. To control the mind, it requires a lot of patience, lot of efforts. See? Therefore, yatanto yoginaschainam pashyantyatmanyavasthitam. And second thing, yatantaha api akritatmanaha. There are people who are putting very sincerely lots and lots of efforts, but akritatmanaha, they are not self-disciplined. See, friends. Now, what is the self-discipline? I'll just give you one or two examples, not to compare or evaluate anybody, but for us to understand. If our process of learning is intact, then only we can grow wise and we stop growing old. If the process of learning is intact. I happened to meet one Mahatma, one Swamiji. He is about 80 years of age. So, somebody told me, I went to meet him. So I went and did namaskar, chamatkar, everything. Sat down on the floor. He was sitting in the chair. And then he started talking about himself. He was such and such, he studied here, he went there, then he has done this thing, he has done that thing. He was so much educated. During that time, he was a gold medalist, and then he came in on the spiritual path, he has done this thing, blah, 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 blah. See? And thereafter, but now, because I have become old, people don't understand, they don't like me, and complaining about the whole world. Now what we have studied, what we have learned? Spiritual life is living in utter present. If you take only this one message as the 15th chapter of Gita, we have started disciplining our mind. Discipline of the mind is control over the mind with reference to three parameters. The mind is no more running in time, either the past or the future. The mind is no more running in places, here or there. And the mind is no more running in objects. When the mind runs in objects, it starts comparisons. So when the mind doesn't run in time, place and object, that mind is a controlled mind. See friend, just observe this. Either we are thinking of some old times, see during the childhood the things were like that, now they are like that. So the mind survives only on these three diets. See, stop giving these three diets. We understand that if we give too much of food to the dogs or the cat, then the dog and the cat becomes very fat. In the same manner, our mind becomes very fat, strong ego, when we are constantly feeding the mind on time, places and object. So to thin out the mind, what is required is these three practices. So yatantaha yoginaha api agrutatmanaha. Our condition is like this. There was one very fat boy. He went to the doctor. And the doctor told that, see, you have to do some exercise, man. Yes, doctor, I will do exercise. Please tell me what I have to do. Run every day 8 kilometers. Okay. And tell me after 1 month. So after 1 month, the boy rings. Doctor Sahab, as you told to reduce my weight, I have been running 8 kilometers every day for last 1 month. So have you reduced the weight? Yes, weight is reduced to a great extent. But another problem has cropped up. What is the problem? I am 240 kilometers away from my home. He keeps running 8 kilometers, 8 kilometers. That was not the meaning. In the same manner, we practice spirituality, but in such a wrong manner that we cancel our own efforts. See? Just imagine a person walking 10 steps forward, 10 steps backward, 10 steps to the right, 10 to the left, 10 to the left, 10 to the right, 10 backwards and 10 forwards. He does it whole day. Where will he reach? In the same manner, we really put efforts, but our efforts are self-cancelling. Therefore, yatantaha api akritatmanaha. Akritatmanaha, those who have never paid attention to their own mind. Here Atma means mind. See friends, this is another very important principle we have to learn, that how much care and efforts we put for keeping our house clean, keeping our surroundings clean, keeping our clothes clean. How much time and effort we have ever put to keep our mind at peace. See, everything we have to learn. Driving we have to learn, cooking we have to learn, painting we have to learn. But when it comes to the disciplining of the mind, that we never think about. And then what happens? Because there are thoughts in the mind, we are not thinkers. See, the other day somewhere I was giving this example. In the forest also, jungle also, there are trees. And in the garden also there are trees. When we go in the jungle, there is fear, there are wild animals, there is risk. And when we go in the garden, there is joy, there is no fear, and there is security. Our mind is like a jungle. Not a single plant, not a single thought is selected, planted, and pruned. It is like a jungle because there are incessant thoughts, eruptions. It is not thinking. See, friends. But if we are able to cull out the unwanted thoughts, these thoughts are not required, tick mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and click delete once for all. If that freedom we have kept with ourselves, then kritatmanaha, then we have really worked on our mind. Therefore, yatantaha api akritatmanaha. Such people spend their whole life under the disguise of spirituality and na enam pashyanti achetasaha. But they are fools of the highest order. They have never recognized, they have mistaken the means for the goal. See, in Bhajagovindam, first verse that teacher tells, Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukrung karne. Dukrung karne means the language, Sanskrit language. It doesn't matter what language you talk. What matters is what you talk. See, in the same manner, we have lived our life. Have we discriminated between the means and the goal? One example I will give you about this. There was one old man, he is no more. When I was in 20s, that time he was 80. So he must be over by now. So, like everybody used to call him Guruji, I used to call him Guruji. One day I came to know he is not well, so I went to see him. When I went, I said, Guruji, how are you? So he used to stay with his daughter, only daughter. So he told his daughter, you go inside, prepare something for Swamiji, and I will talk to him and call you when required. Don't come without that. So she went inside. And then the old man, started sitting next to me on the sofa and he was crying. And he was a great singer. Every satsanga, his name was Sharmaji. Every satsanga, Sharmaji has to be there. In that town, he was a key figure in all the religious activities. Without Sharmaji, nothing can proceed ahead. That kind of position he had. He used to play the harmonium and sing bhajans so beautiful. And everybody used to call him Guruji. So when I called him, Guruji, what's wrong with you? He cried. And he said, for God's sake, don't call me Guruji. I said, okay, I will not call, but don't cry. Then he told me, my whole life I was singing bhajans, bhajans, bhajans. But today I tell you, I am completely blank inside. See, means should not be mistaken for the goal. It is here many seekers, they put sincere efforts, but towards the end of their life, there are two problems. Taittiriya Upanishad says, one, regrets about what was done which should not have been done. Second, regrets about what should have been done was never done. Then in the old age, these regrets become a terrible load on our mind. The guilt starts killing us. See, friends, when we are young in that heat of the youth, we forget everything. And in the old age, whatever good we have done, that will never surface before our eyes. Only those actions which were not good, they were done more intensely. Those actions surface before our eyes, and then we feel lonely, we are afraid, we become depressed, and such people are maximum in this world because they have never lived their life with a self-discipline. For them, freedom is, I want to do whatever I feel like doing. Even animals don't live like that. See, friends. Therefore, yatantaha api akritatmanaha na enam pashyanti achetasaha. They are fools. See, friends. Now look within yourself and see how many times we have gone to the temple or the church, and how many times we have prayed to the Lord, "Oh Lord, please help me to purify my mind to such an extent that let there be not a single trace of hatred or bitterness for anything or anybody in the world." See, you all must have heard the name of Shirdi Sai Baba. I go there whenever there is an opportunity. One day when I went, there were some people always around. So I went, I did namaskar and crossed. So one person asked me, "Swamiji, you went there and you finished your namaskar in a fraction of second and you just went ahead. When we go there, we want to hold on to that for a longer time." I said, longer the list of prayer, longer is the time taken. You don't ask anything. I said, "No, I have asked." "What did you ask?" I said, "Why should I tell you? It's a private affair." No, please tell." I said, "Okay, I'll tell you." I said, "I have asked only one thing to the Lord and He has blessed me." You ask that or you guess what it is. "Oh, you must have said, oh, God realization should happen." I said, "Hey, I don't want God realization." Then I said, I had asked only one thing to the Lord. "Oh Lord, let there be no hatred and bitterness towards anything or anybody in my whole life, even in a dream, even once. Unless our mind is pure to that extent, the divinity cannot express through us." See? Like, there are some people. Now, leukoderma is not a contagious disease, it is only a liver disorder. But if somebody is beautiful everywhere, but if there is one spot of leukoderma, all the other signs of beauty get cancelled, is it not? In the same manner, we might have done everything, but if our heart is not pure, and the impurity of the heart is having any ill feeling towards anything or anybody in this world. See, it is for this purpose our scriptures tell we must practice forgiveness. Let us not carry the load of bitterness in our mind. That mind which is bitter, carrying the load, can never recognize the truth. Therefore, no, it is easy to see God everywhere except my neighbor. That is enough to destroy us. See, therefore, yatanto yoginaschainam pashyantyatmanyavasthitam, and yatantaha api akritatmanaha nainam pashyanti achetasaha. Now, how the wise man sees the divine presence in this world and how the otherwise is not able to see, in the next 4-5 verses, the teacher gives us the example. See, we want to see God. There was one person, he went to a Mahatma and said, "Sir, I want to see God, please show me God." He said, "Okay, we are doing bhajan kirtan, you join." And when they were doing kirtan, Lord's name, glory being sung. Then Mahatma said, stop, Lord has come. Everybody stop. And the Mahatma said, sir, this is a devotee, he wants to have your darshan. Will you please reveal yourself to him? The Lord said, nobody heard, Mahatma heard. Mahatma said, the Lord told me that I can reveal myself before this devotee, but tell him clearly, after I reveal myself, all his merits will be exhausted. There is nothing like free dinner. All the merits will be exhausted, and thereafter he will have to go through all the sins one after another. Ask him, is he ready? So the devotee says, I will ask my wife and let you know, not now. See, friends, are we even ready for this at any cost? No. See? Therefore, the Lord is very much present. It is our eyes which are not able to see. Like yesterday I told you the example of the windows. See? Why the neighbor is keeping the clothes dirty, I think he doesn't know how to clean. And when her husband cleans the window, I think they have learned they are all right. Our window through which we are peeping out in the world, that is dirty. See, friends. Now here is an exercise given to the seeker. Now start your spiritual practice. The spiritual practice starts from a distance to the nearer than the nearest. So everywhere it is the same reality expressing. Reality cannot be seen, but the expression of the reality can be seen. Like electricity cannot be seen, but the expression of the electricity can be seen. Yesterday when we were talking, when the light has failed, so how did we know? Because there was no expression of the light through the bulb. In the same manner, the absolute can be recognized only through its manifestation. See, friends. Presence of a disease is recognized by its manifestation. And what is the manifestation? There is pain. I'll give an example. This to make it very clear. There is a friend of mine, she is a gynecologist, elderly lady, must be around 58 or 60. And because she has free access to the medicine, she being a gynecologist, they are the most miserable profession in the world, if there is something, is to become a gynecologist. The children are born exactly at the wrong time. It's not between 10 to 5. When you are ready to retire, that time your call will come. You have to run and take care of that. So she was doing that. And her legs have developed varicose because of constant standing throughout her life. And to reduce the pain, she used to take the painkillers. And started taking the painkillers. Her titer increased. Earlier, which was enough, half a tablet, it became 1, it became 2, it became 3. And because they are freely available, she used to consume. And as a result, other pains which were in her body, they were also subsided. And one day, she called her friend. She said, hey, please come, I got some pain in the lower portion. Please come and examine. So her friend came and she examined her. The moment she touched the cervix, like a pot of mud or a pot of milk will burst open. It burst open and a bucket of blood and the pus came out. And they immediately found out it was nothing but a 3rd degree carcinoma. Immediately she was shifted to the hospital, operation, everything. She stayed with me thereafter for 6 months. So, operation, everything was done, And then I asked her, I said, Mama, you are taking care of so many patients, what happened to you? Then she told me this story. Swamiji, because painkillers are available to me, I used to take the painkiller, there is little pain, and do work. Friends, painkiller is an effect. Disease is revealed by the pain. In the same manner, whenever we are painful, whether at the physical level or the mental level, recognize there is a disease inside. And what is the disease? When you are not at ease, it is called as dis-ease. We have to be at ease. We have to be at peace with ourselves. See? So from the effect, we reach the cause. In the same manner, the divine presence can be recognized from the manifestation of the divinity in our day-to-day experiences. In this manner, the teacher now tells from the 12th to 15th mantra, Yadadityagatam tejo jagadbhasayate yachandramasi yachagnav tattejo vidhi mamakam gama vishyacha bhutani dharayamyamojasa pushnami chaushadhi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakaha aham vaishvanaro bhutva प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम्. These are the 4 verses through which the Lord reveals His presence in His total creation. You know, our human mind is such that we find excuses why we are not regular in our spiritual practice. See? Like I find excuse why I do not practice yoga every day. I am very expert in that. See? Some or the other reason I find out, and I don't do that. The same thing happens for the people who are devotees. See, actually, I wanted to do the puja, but my bell was taken by my grandchild somewhere. I don't know where the bell has gone, therefore no puja. We are finding out one or the other excuse. So here, all excuses are taken away. First, Yat adityagatam tejaha jagat bhasayate khilam. The brilliance of the sun in the form of the light, Yat adityagatam tejaha akhilam jagat bhasayate. This whole world is illumined in the light of the sun. Second, Yat chandramasi, that which is expressing through the moon, and yaccha agnav, and that which is expressing through the fire, tat tejo vidhimamakam. Come to cognize that it is me who is expressing through these 3 gadgets attached to the conscious existence. See, electricity is saying this. The light that you see in the bulbs, the heat that you see in the heater, and the noise that you hear in the radio, that is because of me. See, Yadadityagatam tejaha. Like yesterday I told you, the other way to look at it. Adityagatam tejaha, the sun. Sun is presiding deity of the eyes. Therefore, all the functioning of the sense organs. Agnav, fire is the presiding deity of the speech. Speech is the organ of action. Therefore, all the activities of the karmendriyas, organs of action, and Chandramasi, the mind, is presided over by the moon. Therefore, all the functioning of the mind, they are because of my presence. See, friends. Yadadityagatam tejo jagat bhasayate khilam. So wherever we go in our life, wherever we go, we will definitely come across these three supports. There will be sun, there will be moon, there will be fire. And if we are the worshippers of sun, what is the net result? We begin our day early in the morning. We do not begin our day very late. This is one of the most important thing in life. We have to begin our day very early. And if we want to begin our day very early, we have to retire at night very early. And when we retire at night very early, all unwanted activities, late night shows and drinks and parties and disco, everything is automatically curtailed. See? Therefore, when we are doing the upasana in this manner, all these three expressions of the Lord should remind us of the divine. Okay, the sun is far away, the moon is little nearer, and the fire is in our pocket in the lighter. See how the Lord is coming from the sun to the moon to the fire. Now he comes still nearer to us. In the next verse it is said, Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayamyaham Ojasa. Gam, the Prithvi, the earth. Having entered the earth, I support all the things and beings, and I give life and nutritional abilities. Pushnami cha aushadhi sarvaha. See, all the vegetable kingdom have the ability to satiate our hunger. See, if we eat the fruits made out of plastic or any of the papers, it will not satiate our hunger. But when it is taken from the real one, that is because of the divine presence. Therefore, Pushnami Chaushadi Sarva Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. It is said in India that there are three types of ambrosia or the nectar. One is the nectar of the mortal world, and that nectar of the mortal world is food, because the disease for the mortals is hunger and thirst, and it is cured to some extent by the food. Then there is a second type of nectar called as the nectar in the heavens. The gods have this. So when you take that nectar, you go beyond hunger and thirst. This is the second type of nectar. The third type of nectar is the ultimate. Once you come to discover your divine nature, you have transcend the limitation of time. So to come to that, these are the steps through which we have to go. So, Ushnami Chaushadi Sarva Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. So from the sun, we have come to moon, from the moon to the fire, from the fire to the earth, and from the earth we have come to the food. Now, from the food, next step, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah Pranapana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. Aham Eva Vaishvanaro Bhutva. I am the digestion power in all the beings. See, friends, none of us know how the food is digested. Many of us even do not know how the food is cooked directly. Like, who was telling me in Auckland, there is a group of young mothers, they have taken up this project. When they ask somewhere a small child, can you tell where from the milk comes? Oh, it comes from the Walmart. They know that milk comes only from the pouches and nowhere. So they started now taking up coaching classes for all these real things. So Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. The Lord expresses as a digestion power in every one of us, and Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayuktaha Pachami Annam Chaturvidham. And four kinds of foods are digested by me. So whatever we eat, the digestion is done by the Lord. See how much miserable he must be in our stomach. Whole day a big pot is kept and the fire is going on, and we go on pouring one after another, poor fellow tired and doing it, and then he thinks, oh God, I think now it's stopped properly, and he is now giving a final touch to remove that, and then suddenly one mountain of ice cream drops. Oh God, when this fellow is going to stop? See, we must have pity for that poor fellow, constantly asking him to do the job. So, aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham pranapana samayukta pachami annam chaturvidham. Four types of foods. Which are the four types of food? Four types of foods according to your latest, rather modern language: the carbohydrates, the fats, the proteins, and whatever remaining. Four types of foods. Or the four types of foods are the vegetarian, the non-vegetarian, and the vegetarian and the vegans. You put anything, doesn't matter. Everything that goes inside is the food. Therefore, all these foods are digested by that digestion power, what is none other than the expression of the divine. Therefore, I'll tell you one example. Those who are established in the truth, what is their vision and what is our vision? The great master in Bombay, his name was Nisargadatta Maharaj, and he ultimately died of cancer of throat. So when he was having the cancer, his devotees used to say, oh Sir Maharaj, why you have to have the cancer? This must be troubling you. Used to keep quite difficult to talk. One day he must have been lot of bullying from the devotees. So he told in this frail voice, please understand, I don't have cancer, I am cancer. See friends, can there be a cancer for the dead bodies? As much health is supported by the consciousness, so much the disease is also supported by the same consciousness. See, there can be food poisoning only for the living one, not the dead one. In this manner, the life is an expression of the divine presence in the form of all the physiological activities. Now, after having said this, now in the 15th verse, the teacher gives the most beautiful expression of his presence. What he says? Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha. I am in the heart of everyone. See? What is the meaning of heart? Heart means the essence. If we remove the heart of a person, life is not possible. So I am in the heart of everyone. And what do you do there? Make miseries for us. He said, no. It is because of my presence alone, three kinds of experiences are possible. Mattaha, because of me. Smriti, the dreams. Jnanam, the waking experience. Apohanam, the deep sleep. All these three experiences are possible in my presence. Mattaha, smriti, jnanam, apohanam cha. This I, the one which is supporting all the experiences of waking, dream and deep sleep, they are possible only in the light of this consciousness. See, And Bhagavan says here, Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vidya. This aham, this real aham is worthy of knowing. See? The meaning of the word aham is that which cannot be destroyed. Two things cannot be destroyed. One, the absolute reality cannot be destroyed. And second, an illusion. We cannot destroy our reflection in the water. See, you can take a sword and pierce it through the reflection in the water. Nothing will happen. Why? It is just an appearance. It is not real. See? Therefore, Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vidyaha. All the scriptures, Vedas, are meant for recognition of this real self. Ahameva vidya. Second, aham vidyaha eva. We don't have to do anything. Only come to cognize your own divine nature. Therefore, Kaivalya told us, na karmana na prajaya dhanena. Not through karma, nor through praja or the wealth that the reality is discovered, but only by tyage naike amritatva manashu. When the waker, dreamer and the deep sleeper, when their positions are rejected, what remains and which cannot be rejected, that is worthy of recognition. Vedaischa sarvai aham vidya vidyaha eva. And only we have to come to discover, nothing has to be done. And Vedanta krut Veda videvacha aham. And all the knowledge for getting this absolute identity with the self is also me alone and none else. And in this manner, whether the knowledge or the teacher or the seeker, everything is but one reality. Therefore, it is something like this. In India, they prepare Ganesh, Lord Ganesha out of clay. And then it is puja is done. So one artist prepared Ganesha, beautiful. Is it okay? Shall I give it a final touch? So the person who ordered, he said, no, where is the rat, the mouse? Without the mouse, Ganesha is not complete. And he had no more clay left. So what he did, he removed little clay from the belly of Ganesha. Removed little clay from here and there, and again patched it up and made a mouse out of it. So whether it is a Ganesha, the rider, or the mouse, the ridden, all of them are nothing but the clay. In the same manner, everything, whether it is the illuminator, sun, moon, etc., or the illumined, this world, etc., everything is nothing but the absolute reality. This has to be known, and in this one absolute reality, multiplicity is on account of the conditionings and not really. See, like yesterday I gave you example, one man appears to be many because of the conditionings. With reference to the wife, he is a husband. With reference to the parents, he is a son. With reference to his sons, he is a father. So he has as if become many, but he is actually one. In the same manner, one absolute reality, objectively recognized as the world, subjectively recognized as the experiencer, and the controller of the world and the jiva is the Ishvara. So on this one reality, Jiva Jagat Ishvara, the soul, the world and the creator, the God, these three things are superimposed. Because of that, the one appears to have become many, but in fact, the one continues to be one without a second. So Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vidyaha Vedanta krut Veda videvacha aham. In this manner, I alone know myself. Nobody else can know me, because other than me there is none else. Having told this, then the teacher summarizes in the 16th verse, Dvavimau purushau loke ksharascha kshareva cha ksharas sarvani bhutani कूटस्थोक्षर उच्यते. Dvau imau purushau loke. In this world, loka, the field of experience. In this world, there are two purushas. One is kshara, one is akshara. Kshara is that which is constantly changing or modifying, and akshara is that which is not changing and not modifying. So, what is the changing and modifying? All the panchakoshas and the objective world is constantly changing and modifying. And what is that which is not changing and not modifying? He is the one who is illuminating all the changes. And both of them are Purusha. See? So the same reality is objectively called as the world and subjectively called as the experiencer. So the experiencer and the experienced, both of them are one and the same reality. And this is like what? This is like standing before a mirror. When we stand before a mirror, it is an experience of duality. I am looking at the mirror. But what is the experience? I am looking at myself. See, friends, this is the only example which can give us some glimpses. So when I look at the book, I look at the book. But when I look at the mirror, I don't look at the mirror. I look in the mirror. And in the mirror, I don't see the reflection. In the mirror and in the reflection, I see myself. See, in the same manner, the one who is abiding in this absolute reality, in his objective perception, the subject itself is revealed. And therefore, for the wise people to love the whole world is as natural and effortless as we love ourselves when we stand in front of the mirror. Do we say, oh God, the same face every day I am seeing, I am tired. Let there be another face. No. Whatever may be our age, whatever may be our shape, even there, aha, nice doing. Because I is discovered in that. In this manner, dvau imau purusho loke ksharascha akshara evacha kshara sarvani bhutani kutastaha akshara uchyate. So all the things here which are constantly changing, they are called as kshara purusha, and kutastaha, the one who is expressing through all the bodies, is called as the akshara. In this manner, one reality alone is expressing as experiencer and the experienced. Thereafter, the teacher will be giving a final touch in the last 4 or 5 verses. That we will do it tomorrow in the concluding session at 10. Tomorrow 10:30 in the morning. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.